Dipstick hole.
Girl, you see, I'm over here. We got this hat on. I'm blank face. I'm like, what is happening today?
Right, I should have put on my extreme visor. So
Oh, you could, yeah.
Yeah, look, I think I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna go get it. But introduce everybody here. I am Coach Hadassah, and we have
Coach Cotton here. Hi, everybody. How are you doing?
yes, and welcome to the Coach's Corner, where we help you get to your next level.
Absolutely.
So listen, we have a lot to unpack today on the Coach's Corner. There's a video that we want to share, and then we also want to recap a little bit over about this past weekend that we had, because we had an exciting time.
Yes, we did.
Had a great time with our Extreme FX family, our common unity. Listen. Ooh, listen, I'm telling you, you look.
It was a great time, y'all.
Man, it was a great time. If you are already a member, right? If you're already part of the family, you're already part of the Extreme FX common unity, then, and you wasn't there, you want to make sure that you're at the next event in Baltimore, July 9th through the 11th. Get your tickets now. The early bird tickets are already sold out. They're gone, right? Those tickets, like when they announce them at the event, they pretty much go, because I always secure my next ticket. Because I like them early bird specials, right?
Yeah.
So that's that. But get your tickets now for that July 11th through, July 9th through the 11th event for Baltimore, because we will be on the water again. It won't be the yacht party, but at least, but it's still going to be awesome, but it's just that this time, this event was just so awesome. And we really bonded. I think this weekend we really bonded.
Yeah, we did. I agree with you.
I think
it was really like we always operate like a family, but this time it was like a close-knit family. Like everybody had everybody back, and we was just there to support and then celebrate. So it felt like home almost, if that makes sense.
Yes, it did. So you want to make sure that you're at the next event in July. And if you're not a part of our Extreme FX Global Academy family, our common unity, then listen, you want to be like, come on, reach out. Don't sit on the fence. No more second guessing. No more, well, I'm going to see what they're going to do. We're going to continue to do what we're doing. Right? We're continuing to grow. We're continuing to build. We're continuing to trade. We are continuing. So this is not the time now to sit. Look, you've had a little bit over 100 days to sit back and watch.
Right.
Even the president, like with the presidency, when they say, oh, the first 100 days. Okay, we've had our first 100 days. We're still here.
Right.
We're invested now.
We're still here. We are
still here. We are invested. I know I am. Oh my gosh, I'm super.
It ain't going nowhere.
We ain't going nowhere, right? So come on. That's all I can say is come on. Tonight we have our Extreme FX Youth Entrepreneurship and Development Program at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. So look, bring yourself, bring the kiddos, come over here, see what that's all about, because we're doing amazing things with our Extreme FX Young Guns. We had a few of our young guns in the building at the event. Devin was there. Jasara was there. I think, yes.
Zahara.
Yeah, Jasara and Zahara was there. Of course, the founders, the other founders' children, they were there. Adriana, I forgot Reagan's Reagan's son's name. He's 13, and this
one of them is Josiah.
Josiah, that's his name, Josiah. Josiah was there. We just had a lot of our Extreme FX young guns there as well. Josiah, not Josiah, Josiah, he is huge.
He's a big boy.
You cannot be 13. He's 13. Look, we thought our 13-year-old was he a little stocky, but this, oh my gosh, he huge, and he's still growing. That's all I have to say about that. But yeah, just come on over tonight. Newmembers.org. Password icon again, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. See what it's all about to get your children trading, learning entrepreneurship, financial literacy, all of that. Okay. And then also there's the opportunity call that we usually have at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern as well. So, you can hop off of that and hop on the other one. Or if you missed that one, you can come to, our regular opportunity call that's on the Zoom. So that one is at beextreme.info and the password is Shark. So can you drop that in the chat, the Be Extreme info password Shark? Yes, and the time. So look, I'm just trying to give y'all all the sauce in the beginning.
And look, I'm tagging people because what me and Coach got to really commit to is promoting the Coach's Corner more. So look, what I'm doing right now, I'm tagging people so they can know we on. yes. And we got to get better. We got a plan though, Coach. We got a plan though. we do. I will say we do have to get better at that because we
look, we're good at winging it. We do real good.
So we gotta commit now.
Right. But I figured like if we do so well at winging it, we might as well just go ahead and commit to promoting.
Yeah.
Right.
Commit
and
to
scheduling things out.
And all we gotta do is start small, y'all. We just gotta start. We gotta start somewhere. But if we just do it, Coach, we gonna be good promoters.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, I wanted to go ahead and share that information. And then of course, with the Coach's Corner, we are here Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern, because again, we help you get to your next level. That's what the Coach's Corner is all about. So we're getting into this video. It's a video that was shared this morning on Morning Motivation.
Yes.
And it was a good one. It was so good. We felt that it deserved another play today.
Yes.
Right. So without further ado, let me go ahead and share this. Let's see. Sister in there. And look, I think sister we'll have sister on probably Wednesday.
Okay. Yes. Sister says she's gonna be a guest while y'all playing.
Yeah, she said today that she was gonna be a guest. But right now she's in there singing. So I'm gonna leave her alone. She's in the other room singing her heart out. Okay, so can we see? Okay, all right, it's there. And so I'm gonna go ahead and play this video. The A+ student mentality. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Before I do that, because what I did not do was okay, share audio. There we go.
And while Coach is doing that, look, let me tell you guys again, if you're interested in being a part of the Extreme FX Global Academy Community and Family and Opportunity, we are having a private business reception in Atlanta and surrounding cities on May the 23rd, 2021 at 4:00. I will give you the location. When you send me a message and say, Michelle, I can make it. You do not want to miss this. This is where you can come meet us. You can come meet us, the Atlanta group. And we can share this opportunity with you. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be May 23rd. That's a Sunday at 4 p.m. DM me so we can get you there. Y'all got to be a part of this. It's so much value. Okay, Coach, go ahead. Take it away.
Okay. All right, great. So we're about to get started and get into this video here. All righty, here we go.
There are key components and key ingredients in the recipe of a student mentality. Number one, you need to be disciplined. The future is very expensive. And only those who are carriers of discipline can inherit the future. I need you to stay motivated. I don't care if you have to listen to me 1,000 times. I need you to stay motivated. And I need that motivation to mature into discipline. I need you to be self-aware. So I need you to remember that you are always learning. In life, you are always learning. And I need you to believe in yourself. I need you to see yourself capable, lovable, and unconditionally worthy of your future. Turn your pain into progress. I need you to see yourself. See yourself. One of the things that many students lack is vision. You gotta see yourself before you get there. You have to hear yourself telling yourself thank you. I need you to open up your ears. Open up your ears. Because the you from the future is telling you thank you. Thank you for not giving up when you wanted to give up. Thank you for not being depressed. Thank you for not allowing the brokenness to eat your progress. Thank you. Thank you. You got this. It's going to be hard sometimes. I'm telling you right now. It's not going to be easy. But it's worth it. Maybe you're listening to me right now and you want to lose weight or you're trying to pass the final exam. Maybe there's just this feat that seems as though it is impossible. Turn your pain into progress. Turn your pain into progress. I need you to be uncomfortable with average. I need you to be allergic to average. I need you to come to the end of yourself. So many people are depending on you. A student is hardworking. A student is mentally tough. Have the ability to adapt. Have a character. Consistency. Demonstrate courage on the daily. Stay motivated. Stay positive. Earn your respect. Have a winning attitude. Breathe. Compete. Make no excuses. Set goals. Practice great habits. Stay focused. Want your future? You gotta outwork everybody on that field. You gotta outwork everybody in the room. You gotta learn how to perform under pressure. You gotta leave it all out on the field. Everybody wants the future, but everybody wants to be average. There are gonna be times when you feel like you're losing your mind, and you study for hours, and you're gonna take an exam, and you will not pass. A student is resilient. A student is disciplined. A student is committed. A student is consistent, even when they don't want to be. Because the cycle of depression needs to end with you. The cycle of not enough needs to end with you. The lack and the dysfunction and the anxiety and all of these things that your family and your father and your mother have gone through. You have to keep a student mentality. I studied and I failed the exam. I studied and I failed the test. And life is an uphill war. It is filled with tests and exams and critical moments where you're going to have to dig deep inside of yourself and ask yourself why. Why did you start in the first place? And what was the emotion, the feeling? What was the science and the psychology behind the decision that you made? And nine times out of 10, I can tell you why you started. You started because you were hungry. Hunger is the feeling of discomfort or weakness caused by a lack of food coupled with a desire to eat. How hungry are you? When you feel like throwing in the towel, when you feel like surrendering everyone you work for, remember why you started. Remember how you felt when you started. You were hungry. When you want to let go, when you want to surrender, when you want to stop, when you are ready to quit, when you have failed and failed again. Let me remind you what got you here. Hunger got you here. A strong desire got you here. You were desperate to break curses in your family. You were desperate to break the cycle of poverty and depression. You were desperate. Hunger got you here. Remember this. Every dream requires discipline. Every dream requires discipline. You can travel the world and study students and their behaviors and their mindsets. There is a science behind achievement. And when you study the most successful students in the world, we find that they are responsible, they are motivated, they are self-managed, they are self-aware. They have a long-lasting student mentality even after they have passed the test. Because they understand that life is a test. And in life, there are ups and there are downs. And so accept the responsibility. See yourself as primarily responsible for your outcomes and your experiences. You are going to need discipline. Motivation will help you get started. But discipline is going to keep you on the road to your destiny. You got to be self-motivated. You got to find purpose in what you do by discovering personally meaningful goals and dreams. If you're going to be a successful student, if you're going to come out on top, you've got to start managing your time. You plan and you take action in pursuit of your goals and dreams. So let me tell you something. Everybody has a dream, but there is a behavior that must follow your belief system. Remember this, behavior follows belief. If you have not been able to change your behavior to match your dream, then you need to go back and examine your belief. Because 10 times out of 10, if you can't change your behavior to match your dream, then you don't believe. When somebody believes, everything changes. The time is coming where you are going to feel like giving up. But you're going to have to remember why you started. You got to dig deep and learn how to create possibilities for yourself when nobody gives you an opportunity. You have to turn your mess into your message.
Ooh. Ooh.
Every time I hear this video, Coach, like every time, look, I'm still writing.
You still taking notes?
Part, yeah.
Turn your mess into your message. Oh my gosh. Look,
and that's a whole word by itself, right?
Yeah, that. Just that alone. Turn your mess into your message. There were so many notes. I was taking notes in the chat this morning with it because I came in a little late because I was Mondays are Sister Spa days, and so she had me working. So she had me working. I'm like, sister is my boss. Look, everybody fire your boss. I can't fire my boss.
You're there for life.
I'm there for life. Sister is my boss. So
but look, that job right there is the best job. Like I wouldn't want to leave that job.
Right. I mean, like I don't want to leave this job, and I mean the good thing is it pays. I'm getting paid to do something that I was always doing anyway. You know what I'm saying? And that I will do if I'm not paid for it. But you know, it's a good thing that I do get paid for it. It's not a lot of money, but I do get paid for it. And which affords me the opportunity to have this opportunity, right? Otherwise I would have to be outside of my home, which is just about impossible, as caregivers. So that's why I have a heart for caregivers, and I want to share this opportunity with more caregivers, because we have that same thing. We have that same common thread. And when I say caregivers, that's just, from, and I just don't want to say stay-at-home moms, because they are stay-at-home dads too. So parents that have small children, and then, those that are in the caregiving professions, and then also those who are, they may be caring for elderly parents, or family members that have debilitating conditions, or the person might have a debilitating condition, but it doesn't mean that their quality of life and their income has to suffer because of that, or they have to, like on the end of a caregiver, that they have to, one or the other lacks. Their finances lack because they can't work, because they have to take care of someone, or, vice versa. Okay, well, I have to make money, so I can't, caregive. And what happens with that, right? What happens when we can't care for the people who needs care?
Right.
That shouldn't be an issue. But there are a lot of lonely, because it's a very lonely place, caregivers out here without support, emotional support and financial support, because everybody, the mindset is, hey, go out, work, get a job. That's the way you're gonna, be successful and everything in life. And caregivers are overlooked. And it is the jobs that we do as caregivers. I sat down and I wrote it out. Like each thing that I did, I went on salary.com and looked up what the salary was for each individual thing that I do. My income, according to that, is over $1 million. Right? So you have people who are caregivers that, it's a thankless job, but they do over $1 million worth of work.
Wow. I believe that. And that, what, that's so crazy that you just laid that out for us, because that's exactly what this video was talking about. Taking your pain and turning it into your progress, taking your mess and turning it into a message. So for caregivers, like, you can just take that description and those responsibilities alone and turn it into a full message. And this is why people like yourself and so many others who are caregivers, moms, dad, and their time has been taken away from the responsibility of caring for a loved one in need in some capacity, because they have to go to work. So now they're exhausted. You know what I'm saying? They're tired because they're working 5 jobs in one day. It's only 24 hours in a day, right? So if you're going to work your regular 9 to 5, and just because we say 9 to 5, technically don't mean you're there 8 hours. You can be at one job for 10 or 12 hours. Then you come home to start yet another job, whether that's feeding your kids, helping out with homework, putting them in the bathtub, getting them to bed. Then that's 3-4 hours after you cook them and do all this. Then if you're caring for a special needs child or someone who needs that special attention, oh my God, the day is gone and you still ain't laid down and took care of self, right? You still ain't had time to do nothing for you, because now all of your attention has been distributed over everything. And so this opportunity with Extreme FX will give you some time back. Why? Because if you are that person who, and let's just say, like you mentioned, it could be elderly parents that you gotta have round the clock care for. And if you go out and hire somebody, the reason why these caregivers in these professions are making millions of dollars, because somebody has to pay them for that, because that's their time, that's their attention to the person.
No, they don't. I said they do $1 million worth of work. They don't.
Oh, but they ain't getting paid $1 million. Right?
they're not getting paid that. They just doing $1 million.
$1 million worth of work. Correction.
And maybe making $15 an hour. Maybe.
Wow. And that's sad. And that's sad alone. But this opportunity can at least give that person some time back, right? This opportunity can at least give them the affordability to have some extra time and to also give that special attention without being divided without being exhausted all the time, because I can only imagine. I watched my mom. My grandparents are 86 years old, both of them still alive, and she had to do it for a short while before they went back home to Buffalo, New York, where my aunts are, and it's 4 of my aunts. Well, I'm sorry, 3 of my aunts in Buffalo, New York, because one of my aunts had passed away. But it was just my mom down here. So when my grandparents was here, that responsibility was on my mom, and I literally watched how exhausted my mom would be trying to do her own thing, then take care of parents, and then it was just became too much, to the point to where she started breaking down. And I'm going, this is not normal. You know what I'm saying? Like, this should not be this way. So how do you correct the situation? How do you what can you bring into to help the situation, to get some support? And what ended up happening was my aunts end up stepping in. They're like, you know what? It's more of us up here than just you, Denise. Bring mom and dad back up here. That way it's 3 of us and we can kind of manage them versus just the one. And my mama didn't really want to do it, but it was like a necessity. Like, she had to do it for her own peace of mind. And so my grandparents ended up going back home to Buffalo, New York, and my aunts are now managing. And even with the 3 of my aunts, it's still such a heavy responsibility. But you guys are doing this every day and trying to figure out a way how to reclaim some time for self, how to reclaim some time for something else. You know what I'm saying? And this opportunity, I just have to put Extreme out there, because this is an opportunity where you can get some of your time back. You can reclaim your time. I ain't gonna say you're gonna have the full 24 hours back, but you can stay home and give attention to what you need to give attention to, whether that's self, whether that's parents, whether that's children, whether that's business, whatever it is. You have the opportunity to do that, Coach. And then you can just take that and make it a whole message. Like you said, that pain has to be progress. The reason why I think a lot of people get burned out as caregivers is because there's no help, there's no support. You know what I'm saying? Like, the support is limited. It's so much work, but you got one person. Right.
Like, the support is, you said limited. It's lacking.
It's a whole drought.
LACKING. The support is lacking. Wow. But see, here's the thing about it. This is what I love, and it takes us back to this video, because when he said be a student, and it's really more so of being a student of life, right?
Yes.
Because I am a student of life. I learn from everything, every single thing. I mean, I could be looking at birds and just watching the birds, and I promise you, I'm gonna get a lesson from looking at the birds. It's something that's gonna be so profound just watching a bird or birds in action. So we can learn from everything. So it's more so, like the video say, be a student of life. When he talked about resiliency, students are resilient. Well, that's true. Because I think about, just being a student of life, the things that I've experienced in my life, and the bounce back. I mean, many people, you look at me and I don't look like what I've been through at all.
Right.
People, when they find out I have 7 children and a granddaughter, it's like, you have what? You don't look like you have, that thing. And it's like, well, first of all, like, what is a person with 7 children and a grandchild supposed to look like? I mean, it says it's all the time. We're born looking like our parents, but we die looking like our decisions. But not only that, we live looking like our decisions.
Right.
So we live looking like our decisions until we die. And so, thank goodness, even with things that has happened in my life, decisions that I've made, things I've gone through or whatever, apparently my decisions have been at least fairly decent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? fairly decent. We're here. We're here on the Coach's Corner. We're here with Extreme FX Global Academy and the Common Unity, where it's just so much support and it's so much love. And that's what I truly love about it. Like when I prayed to find my tribe, it's like I don't, there's just no words to really describe. I mean, I would have to attempt to transfer that feeling, that energy, that thought into another person in order for them to really understand what I meant or mean by that. Right. When I prayed to find my tribe and I just stepped out and did it, that takes courage to just, you know what I'm saying? Just and I don't want to say drop everything, but in a sense, you're leaving behind certain environments and people and things like that you were once part of to go at it alone until you come across some people, a person, or, you know, whatever. And one thing led to another, and that other thing led to a person, and then that person led to another person, and that person led to an opportunity, and that opportunity landed me where I met the people that we're with now. We weren't even called a Common Unity then, I found it because I was looking for some training, and I'm like, I know that has to be some training, so I looked for that, and then I found Megan, and I was like, whoa, wait. I grew up in this industry, and I've never heard anybody train like this or explain like this or whatever. So again, student, it didn't matter that I grew up in network marketing. You know what I'm saying? Right. It didn't matter that my mama been in every freaking program that I could even think of, and she was successful in it, and she failed in it, and she was successful again, and she knew some big people and some small people and some millionaires and none of that mattered. When you're a student, right? Because when you're a student, you're humbling yourself and you're putting yourself in a position of, like my grandmother always say, if you think you know something, look it up. That just meant remain a student, right? So when I found Megan, student, she's training in a way I've never heard before. Listen, right? You know what I'm saying? And on the calls every single day to get the training, and then implementing, those things. And I would say just in that previous opportunity, I think it was maybe a Thursday or a Friday. No, it wasn't a Friday. I think it was a Thursday, a Wednesday or a Thursday, when I found the training. I found Megan in the last opportunity. And that's one thing that I saw too. I'm like, this is unheard of, because people are usually, this training is just for my team. I didn't know if I was a part of her team or not. It was just open, and she was just training, right? And I was wondering, I'm like, am I a part of their team or not? Or, then I found out I wasn't. I'm like, I'm not even in her genealogy. Right. But she's still training like, hey, everybody, it don't matter. Right. I said, oh my gosh. You know what I'm saying? This is awesome. Right. So things happen and transpired the way that they did. And boom, we're here. In the opportunity when the doors closed to the other opportunity. But if I wasn't looking for knowledge, if I wasn't looking for training, because I am a forever student. Right. I would have thought I knew everything. I don't need nobody to train me. I know what to do. I've been around network marketing since I was 5. No. Right.
None of that don't even matter.
It don't even matter. You can always learn something new. You can always learn something, and even the way that network marketing is done now, it's different than where it's like we're bridging the old school with the new school. We're bridging the old school because that just works. And the new school is that we have technology. That's really what it is, that we have technology, but we're still applying those old school principles once we connect with people through technology, right?
Right.
We still have meetings. We just have them on Zoom, you know? And then we come and connect with one another in person, but still all of that comes with being a student. And then also what I talked about that in the video, when it talked about that resiliency and bouncing back. Look, we bounce back from that.
Mm-hmm.
We bounce back from that opportunity closing its doors right before Christmas, you know, bounce
Right.
from that, just like that. Kept on going.
Right.
And, just many things, and then just many things in life, the resiliency of things that, you know, I went through that caused depression and anxiety and PTSD,
right.
and all of that. And even my therapist was like, you are a very resilient person. She's like, therapist is looking like, you're very resilient.
Like, how are you still standing with your right mind?
Are you still standing? You know, and it's like, but here's the thing about it. When you know and understand, when you know who you are, you
right.
understand your why. You understand that if you stop, you might as well die, because
right.
at that point, you're dying a slow death anyway. You're just a dead person walking, going through the motions.
Right.
So you might as well keep going. That's it. Mm-hmm. You might as well keep going. And so in that, hey, something happens, a so-called failure, right? I like to say we just fail forward.
Right.
I failed many times in my life. I've just failed forward, bounce back, resiliency. But that is having that mind of a student, just like, you know, in the scriptures, when Joshua said, be ye as children. How can we enter the kingdom of heaven? Be ye as children. Well, why children? Because children are curious. They want to know.
Right.
They want to learn. They're forever student. So
they're sponges. They are straight up sponges, and they want to absorb everything. You know,
yes.
That's why he said, approach me as a little child, because childlike faith, they just ready. You know what I'm saying? They just want to do it. And I even think about that in this opportunity. I heard Jacob Mickle say one time at one of our PBRs, he was like, we need to stop being so much of an adult. And what he meant by that was like, we think there's something wrong with everything that's presented to us. We don't have no faith. We don't have no belief in nothing. We think everything's a scam or something's wrong with that. It's too good to be true. But children, look, when they hear the word no, that don't stop them. They don't give up because they hear no.
Opportunity.
Right. No means next opportunity. And I have watched my nieces and my nephews. My brother can tell them no 500 times, and they're going to keep asking. It's almost like they just wear you down. And they know that they're going to get that yes. Like that yes is coming. He only can say no 500 more times. I'm sure after the 999 times, I'm going to get a yes. And what happens? Yes. Can I have some cookies? Yes, go ahead. Fine. Can I have some juice? Go ahead. Fine. And so we, as adults, we hinder our own blessings. We delay our success because we are so guarded with opportunity. And I'm not saying that there aren't some illegitimate opportunities or people that got wrong motives, but then the ones that don't, and we come in the right motives to really share something life-changing with you, you have such a wall built up, right? And you reject everything that you've been praying for the boat come, your silly behind them rejected and told the boat no, because you so skeptical of the blessing, of the opportunity. So we have to break those walls down. We got to be not just resilient, but be open to receive an opportunity, be open to at least hear. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell everybody, like I used to say this all the time, Coach, and I had to stop saying it like this because I say, oh, well, I'll try anything once. And then my brother used to make a joke. He'd be like, oh, you going to try crystal meth? And I'm like, look, within reason. I'm not going to go try crack one time. I'm not going to go do line of coke.
Right.
You know,
it's like, you know what I'm talking
but
about.
I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know where the blessings coming from. I don't know which way it's going to come. I just know the promise. And the promise is that he came that I may have life and have life more abundantly. So I don't know what's going to bring that abundant overflow into my life. But if I'm rejecting everything, then I may reject the blessing. And so I'm like, let me be a little bit open to see what's going on out here, because I just don't really know. And so just like E.T. was saying, we get to a point to where we're just pushing off everything, and then we could be pushing away what God is trying to get to us. And E.T. said, you got to dig deep. I wrote it down. He said, dig deep and learn how to create possibility for yourself. That just, oh my God, Coach, it blew my mind. It blew my mind because we forget to go a little bit deeper. Like what your grandma said, if you think you know, go look it up, right? Go do some more research. So why is it so hard for us to dig a little bit deeper? Why is it so hard for us to do some more research, to keep learning? Even if you think you know, to keep learning, because guess what? You really don't know. If you haven't made the million, you don't know how to make a million. You ain't made the million yet. So you have room for improvement. You have room for opportunity, right? I heard Donald Trump say a long time ago, and not just Donald Trump. I've heard Dave Ramsey say it, John Maxwell said, they speak the same language. They said, look, I can lose my million today and I can have it back tomorrow. Why? Because I know the steps that it takes to get to that million. So take it all away. I'm not going to be around here crying, because I know what journey I took to get here, and I know how to take that journey again.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I know how to make sweet potatoes.
Right.
When they're gone, I'm gonna make them again.
Absolutely.
It's the same ingredients. As a matter of fact, I know how to make them where it don't take forever, and they taste better than, look, the way my grandma taught me. Mm-hmm. And it might have took, because you're doing it the conventional way with the but
right.
Listen, that doggone Instapot.
Right.
Good sweet potatoes in 20 minutes.
Right.
Not even 20 minutes, because 20 minutes they'll be a little bit too soft. About anywhere between 18 minutes. Girl, some fast sweet potatoes, you can taste all the seasonings just go through. And here's the thing about it. Well, why is that? Because if you have the ingredients, if you have the steps,
if you have the steps,
you can't take it away. And then after a while, you don't have to look at the paper and say, okay, I mean, what this? No, now you're doing you add your own little
flavor to it,
right? Your own little flavor to it. You're not even using measuring cups no more.
Right.
This little that's what they call soul food, because you really are doing it from the soul.
Absolutely.
But they know how to do it again because it's been done before.
Right.
And this is something that I said earlier on the live about, because I call it this millionaire mindset Monday, right?
Okay.
Monday. So here's the thing, and this is just some simple math so that people can just kind of get the mindset, get out of the mindset that a million is a lot, or it's too far for you to reach, or it's too much for you to have, or whatever. Here's the thing about it.
You done made a million. If we be honest, you done made a million.
If you work 40 years and have an income of $25,000 a year, okay, $25,000 a year for 40 years is $1 million.
Wow. So you done made a million.
If you have worked for 40 years from the time you were, let's say you 16 to 56. Now I know from 16 to 56, you just haven't made $25,000 all those years.
Right.
No, because people get raises, right? And there's no way you wouldn't be able to have a family or anything or do anything just for 40 years making $25,000. Not happening. So from 25 to 65, $25,000 a year, that is $1 million. So I just want you to know what $1 million really is. So you figure on average, a person may be at let's say $50,000 a year. Because I mean, you look, teachers with degrees, okay,
Right.
master degrees, make $50,000 a year,
Right,
or more. You know, anywhere between 50 to 65.
right,
And so that's double 25,000. So then that means in 20 years, you've made $1 million.
right.
But
in 20 years, half the time.
yeah, in half the time, 20 years at $50,000, you've made $1 million. Where's it at? Where's it going? Do you have anything to really show for it? And when I say show for it, I'm talking about, like, you know, not only experiences and things, but can you stop working for a bit and things not fall apart? Do you have assets? Is your money working for you? Do you have passive and residual income where you can? Do you have your time? Right? Do you have your time? Do you have time freedom? Well, most people who have worked for the past 20 years at least, I mean, because shoot, my husband has been teaching for 20 years. I worked as a licensed cosmetologist for 20 years.
Right.
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have nothing to show for it like that.
Right.
You know, and at about, I want to say I was 25. I was, about 24, 25 years old when I really started, you know, because here's my thing. I thought just like everybody else thought. I thought that, you know, hey, you successful and make a lot of money if you do whatever said profession, or you're a business owner and all of that. And so when I set out to do that, because I was well on my way, I was managing the salon. And I wanted to do that first as a step up to know what I would be getting into as a business owner, owning a brick and mortar salon. And when I was younger, I thought that being a business owner equated to time freedom. When I saw that it didn't, I was like,
right.
Okay. Right? I'm like, if anything, being a business owner, you have less time.
Right. Especially when you're starting it off.
Yeah, it's on you as a business owner.
Right.
And especially just in the in the hair industry, you own a salon. Like, yeah, you can rent the booths out. You have, people that work there and everything. But, there's this thing, especially here in the Midwest, because of the weather and stuff like that. Well, all businesses have their up and down times.
Right.
You have your in season, the out of season. But then when you live in the Midwest, you have about 6 months where everybody they have on a hat, a wig, something.
Right.
And your money can get funny. And after certain holidays, there's a drought. And then it started picking back up at certain times. So, I had to learn how to, all right, and when it's feast time, start saving up, because I know when the famine will be.
Right, absolutely.
You know that when you know your business.
Right.
So I know when the famine will be, especially and the only way, I won't say the only way that won't happen, but you have a greater chance with still having that income coming in like that, and you not experience that drought if you're like, working with celebrities or in a, you have high-end clientele and stuff like that. Well, I wasn't in that area. I'll just put it that way.
Right.
Right. I just put it that way. So the thing about having people that rent the spaces, whether they're on commission or they're renting the booth out, is that sometimes these hairstylists can be fickle.
Right.
Meaning they shop hop. They hop from shop to shop to shop to shop to shop. Mm-hmm. So you can have those booths rented out, and then next thing you know, you're the only person standing there.
Right. Wow.
And you know, now you have the, you know, you're making the income because you're in there working, but that's only if you're a hairstylist. I managed the salon where the woman that owned the salon didn't do hair. She just had the business idea to have the business, and then, hey, I'm gonna bring some client, you know, some people in here that's gonna work and pay booth rent. But she didn't study her industry.
Right.
Right. You have to, I don't care what industry you're in, you have to study your industry.
Right, absolutely. You gotta know.
You have to know your industry, just like with us. Well, it's two industries that we have to study. We have to know. Right. We have to know the network marketing industry, and we have to know the Forex industry, because we're in both of those industries together. Being a student, right? You know, here we go with being a student again. Right. Being a student. So we have to study both of those industries. Absolutely. So here it was, you know, I knew because it was number one, you know, I was working, I only lived like down the street from the salon, but I had worked in another salon that was in that same shopping mall, but she had closed down. So that's the reason why I was over, you know, at that place, because she had closed her shop. Because look, I stay places. I stay, they closed down or they kick me out.
Right, absolutely.
That's usually how I operate. Or you do me real wrong and dirty, then I'm gone.
Right.
I can't, you know.
But you're not the hopper. You're not the hopper.
Yeah, I'm not the hopper. I am steady. Look, I'm steady. I am steady and I like stability. And when I get
that sound like me. I stayed at one job. It was my first job. I got the job when I was 15 years old with a work permit and doing what they called it, work study from high school. I worked that job for 16 years.
You see? Right.
And I was like, oh my God, like I'm one of those people like who would just get planted somewhere and stay.
Okay. Girl, and that's what I'm saying. Look, you know my story. I had to be diagnosed with carpal tunnel.
Right, to leave.
To be like, it's like I'm trying to take you somewhere else. I told you. And I'm telling you, I heard Spirit say, I have something for you to do and you cannot do it behind this chair. I'm like, I don't know who you're talking to. Continue to do these braids.
Right.
You know? And so it's like, oh gosh. So anyway, you know what happened was, you know, she didn't do hair. So you know, she wasn't a hairstylist, she wasn't licensed, so it wasn't like she could, you know, do it.
Take over, right?
She was just a business owner. So I was managing it, but the thing is, I'm like, you know, you got to market heavy in this location because it was in the middle of nowhere, basically.
Right.
The only people that would probably come to that salon is the people that lived in that community. And again, it was in the middle of nowhere. So it wasn't like there was a big community that could support the business. That's business 101. Make sure that the community that you have your business in can support or will support what you have.
Well, they say location.
Exactly. And so she had all this lavish stuff in there, and I'm sitting up here like, you are doing way too much.
Right. Like, but nobody to see it. Ain't nobody coming.
It's not the area for all of this, you know. So anyway, booth rent was super high. Wasn't nobody standing there. And you know, location, it wasn't like it was high traffic area, walk-ins or anything like that. So, you know, she ended up going out of business because I couldn't even, I was like, okay, I can manage, but what am I managing? The people are leaving. And look, and I'm about to be out the door too, because the booth rent is too high for this area and this location.
Right.
So we all had to find a better space. And she was sitting there. And so she had to close up shop. Right. So I'm saying all that to say you have to know your business. You have to study the industry that you're in. we have to study the industry that we're in, the Forex space, right? Look, crypto space,
right? Network marketing.
And network marketing industry, Absolutely. Which is a very, very lucrative industry. Here's the thing about it. Let me help the people.
And investments, and we cannot forget investments, because crypto is two-sided. Because we can trade crypto on the Forex market, but we can also invest in crypto as a long-term thing. So investments, network marketing, trading, right? So we have these skill sets that we have to continually learn.
Yes.
And to improve in, because this market, one, it's a $7.3 trillion market, and things can change. And if you're not in the know, or you're not getting your updates, you're going to miss something. And if you miss something, you're going to be looking like a duck, because why? You're refusing to continue to learn and continue to grow and be developed. And I mean, when you're talking about financial literacy, that's something that you got to stay on top of to know what you're doing. Like, you should never stop learning how to be financial literate. You should never stop learning how to learn this skill set, right? Like, even when you think you know, do some more work. You know what I'm saying? Look it up, because that could be something else. And like, now we went from just Forex trade, and now you got high frequency Forex trading. So, and it's always more ways to earn, right? So it's just this whole lesson today on the Coach's Corner about teaching, Coach, just makes me understand, even from the video, we have to always be, one, willing to learn, and be teachable. And that's a whole nother subject about being teachable, because you got people out here who think, oh, I'm teachable, but you're not. And what I mean by being teachable, that's me being a true student. And when people get that confused, when I'm talking about being a true student, a student who may know, but don't know it all, and be willing to have someone else come and teach them without saying a mumbling word. And I just remember Megan saying, when she got into the network marketing industry,
wait a minute, hold that thought 1 second, because I want to make sure, because it's set, well, it's a little after 7, it's 3 minutes after 7, but I want to let everybody know that's watching that we do have the Young Guns Youth Entrepreneurship and Development Program tonight. And it's going on now, right? 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. I want you to go to newmembers.org, and the passcode is ICON. That's newmembers.org, and the passcode is ICON. So we're talking about being students, right? You and your youth, you know, your children, grandchildren, or the children that you have guardianship over, we want you to go over to newmembers.org, and the password is ICON now for the Youth Entrepreneurship and Development Program. You know, we have awesome leaders, awesome trainers. I believe and I'm not sure, but a lot of times Tanny Gonzalez, she does the presentation. So if Tanny is doing it, then you'll hear, and she's really great with laying everything out. She has a daughter, Zahara. She's 10 years old. Look, she's a student. And she is a great student. All right.
Yes,
she's
she is
learning how to trade. Not only that, she's learning how to build, because she's sharing this opportunity with other people. Look, she's 10 years old. Zahara's over here building a team. Okay.
Absolutely.
She's team building. Look, talk about being a student. I might hop on Zahara's calls one day and like listen. And I'm listening, Zahara.
Absolutely.
This is something that I'm missing. You launching people, and I'm trying to get a couple of them to just invite people to to the opportunity.
And that's the whole message too. We as adults cannot turn a deaf ear to some of these younger innovators and younger influencers. Why? Because they can learn something and then teach your old rusty dusty behind something new or a better way to do it while you struggling. And you think you know it all, and can't no 10-year-old teach you nothing. Look, my hand is raised for the 10-year-old to teach me. If you got this system working, who am I
Yes,
to
right.
come not at least listen and see what you're doing that I'm not doing?
And I'm learning from my son.
Yes.
My son, I put him in the program February. Look, his enroll date, because his membership is coming up. So it was February 26th.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even May 26th yet. It's May 17th. So it's we're a little bit shy of 90 days. And I'm learning from him.
Absolutely.
Right? I'm learning from him. Oh, and do know because he's been marking up charts all weekend, right? Marked up charts. He helped me get in a trade. And look, I'm sitting up here like, dang, I should have did a whole lot size. Because if I did, I would have took profit at about $600.
Right.
But I didn't do the one lot size. I did my lots, but I still came out with like what $60 off of that. But if I had the lot size house, I would have had $600 from that.
But look, you did $60, right?
Yeah, that was still
and a couple
that I did from my phone.
And I'm talking about like you can do $60, $600, and we done found this out in minutes, and it takes people hours,
right,
working a job to achieve $60. Like,
I mean, because on average, when you're, and I mean, of course, we're not knocking employment or anything like that, because we all have to start somewhere. We're not born into a wealthy family where they have businesses and everything set up for us already. Because here's the thing about it. There's where we used to live across the street. Well, not directly across the street, but we lived on the street, but then there's the main street. So on that main street is Baskin Robbins, right across the street. Baskin Robbins, Dunkin' Donuts together thing. And what we found out was that, but my eldest son, the college that he went to, he went to a community college first. Some of the students that were there, he was like, hey, they work at that Dunkin' Donuts across the street from us. I was like, oh. So he started getting to know them and everything, because they went to college to get the community college together. Well, guess what? He found out that their family owned that Dunkin' Donuts.
Wow.
Right? So the children who were college students in the community college worked there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where did they live? They didn't live where we were living. Because they went to Moraine Valley. So Moraine Valley, it's over there, and like is that Palos Heights, anyway, Palos Heights, Palos Hills, all in that area. Those are $1 million homes, right? And that's where their family lived, over there in that area where the million. If they lived in $1 million home,
right,
then that means that they had more than $1 million in order to be able to live there. But they owned that Dunkin' Donuts, and their family works at that Dunkin' Donuts.
Right.
Right. Wow. I mean, so a lot of times I'm careful, and I attempt to be careful in my language with that, because everybody that has a job don't mean that they struggling.
Right, absolutely not.
They working for they might be working in their family business.
Right. To bring generational wealth to their family and legacy.
Right. And because people like coffee, people like Dunkin' Donuts, people go in there and get ice cream, stuff like that. And of course, you employ your children to give them some money, something to do, get that family business running, all while they're getting their education. And to be, I don't know, doctors, lawyers, or whatever it is,
to be able to run the business when mommy and daddy exit
business management or something, right? So we don't know what they're going to school for or anything, but what we're attempting to do is get out of the debt part, which is because listen, that's like two different things that's going on. One is, okay, they got the family business, it's Dunkin' Donuts, they're working there and everything, but they're doing it, they're in wealth, they're not in debt, and they have that business where they can employ their family.
Right.
Then on this end, it's like, and they're going to school, but pretty much most likely don't have student debt and
Right.
student loans and stuff. Okay, and then we're trying to do the same thing, but working a job, that's not our business, it's not our family business, it's somebody else's business. Going to, getting a college education, but got a student loan doing it.
Right.
To do what? To look like something that we're not. So we're getting out of that, right? Using this particular opportunity to, well, at least this is what I'm doing. Fund our family trust, fund our family, put the assets in a trust, fund the family foundation, fund the business, open the wellness center so that my children do have somewhere to work, because it's our family business. So you look, I work hard for my business. Right. I ain't gonna do that work for other people's stuff.
Right.
Right. But I know what kind of worker that I am. I will stay up all night and work. I'm not gonna stay up all night working for somebody else's stuff.
No, I do it for my own, but not yours.
Right. Right. But I will definitely do it for my own until I pass out. I don't know how many times I've been sitting there, fell asleep with the phone in my hand, laptop up, open. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Books sprawled out across, papers everywhere. It's just because, hey, that's just what you do. You wake up early, you go to sleep late, but you do go to sleep. I ain't gonna tell nobody till you go sleep. You better go to sleep.
If you want to work tomorrow.
If you want to work tomorrow, and if you don't want, because sickness, illness, and disease don't happen overnight. It takes some time. It takes a good 7 to 10 years before it manifests. And you're like, oh, what happened? It was from all of that team no sleep.
Right.
I'm a wellness coach, so I'm gonna tell you, rest. Your body heals when you rest. That don't mean sleep for 22 hours. My body, 4 hours tops. After that, I'm up. But get your rest. Get your rest. Eat a healthy, meal. Take care of yourself, because you do want to enjoy the wealth that you're building with your family. But for the most part, be a student.
And Coach, that's a good note for us to end on, being a student. And so, look, we don't went over time, y'all. We trying to do an hour.
I hope everybody went. Look, I hope people went over to the Young Guns.
The Young Guns, right? And y'all can watch the replay of the last 7-8 minutes. But Coach, I think that this coaching was needed, necessary. Just reminding people to be a student, to turn your pain into progress. Take your mess, make it a message. Your test is your testimony, and all these great things. But really, do the work. And be willing to do the work, right? Like, don't delay your own success because you didn't want to put in the time and the work, right? So remember to be a student and to be teachable and learn and keep learning. And that's what I got to say about that. So, Coach, you want to close us out?
Yes. So thank you all for joining with us on the Coach's Corner. We are here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern, because listen, this is what we're here to do on the Coach's Corner, help you to get to your next level. So we will see you on the other side of success. Peace.
Bye.